Hello everyone, it's Brittany, and today we are going to be doing a different kind of video than I normally do, and that is because I think so many people really want to believe in the law, really want to trust that they are going to get what they want, and they find it really difficult to do that when there is no seeming proof or evidence that this is real or this is truly the way that the world works. And today I'm going to be sharing tons and tons of evidence from lots of different areas. And the reason why I'm doing this is to get it all out there, allow you guys to see that this is not just in one spiritual community. This is everywhere. This is the way of the world. And when you hear this evidence and these stories and these, just all the information that we're going to share today, I want that to be it. I don't want you guys to go seeking for more information. And I truly believe that the way we're going to wrap all of this up at the end will be exactly what you need. So that is my intention for this video today. So because I'm going to be sharing lots of information, I'm going to be reading a lot from my laptop, which is right in front of me, simply because I don't want to give any incorrect information and I don't want to read anything wrong, so I just want to get it straight from the source, okay? So let's begin. So the first thing that I want to remind you guys is that Neville Goddard described the Bible as a biography about you, a biography of man, and really a series of metaphysical stories about this experience of life and finding out about manifestation, finding out about the truth of who you really are. And so when Jesus is speaking in Scripture, Jesus is you. Jesus is your I am awareness, Christ consciousness that resides within you. So these scripture verses that I'm going to read to you will help show you what I'm talking about. So the first one is, I am, capital A. I am the way, the truth, and the life. John 14:6. So, like I said, I am, Jesus, Christ consciousness, is that God that lives within you, within all of us. And really what it's saying is, you are the way. So whatever way you do something is the way, is the right way. You are the truth. Whatever you determine is the truth for you must be the truth. You are the life means you are reality. You are all things. So anything that you determine to be true for you, anything that you determine to be the right way to do something, or even the wrong way to do something, it will be so in your experience because you are all that there is in your personal world. Okay, next one. When you know yourself, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. Gospel of Thomas. Okay, so again, similar idea. By accepting the true nature of who you really are, I am, you will know yourself. You will know that you and God are one. You will know that you are not separate. You are not separate from God. You are not separate from anything or anyone. So when you know the truth, which is I am, when you go within and recognize the truth of who you are, you will understand all of this stuff. You won't have to question things anymore. You won't have to seek for anything anymore. Okay? I really like that one. I really do. So next one that I'm going to read to you is probably my favorite one because this is why I teach what I teach. So that is, and by the way, I'm not sure if this is from the newer scripture or, the original. I really don't know, but I'm reading it the way that I learned it. I found it written in a few different ways, but I'm reading it the way that I learned it. So seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else shall be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. So this one, the reason why it's my favorite is because your only responsibility, your only job in this life is to truly know yourself, and to move through the world in that awareness. That's it. And when you do that, everything that you desire, everything that you would love to experience, all of that will be added unto you, will appear for you. Now, yes, you can absolutely choose to focus on the specific things that you want to manifest, or realize that this is all about you, so you can focus on who you would be, who you are now that you recognize that you have these things. But truthfully, in my opinion, it's so much easier and so much more liberating to really just focus on the truth of who you are and allow everything to be apparent to you, allow everything to appear for you, allow everything to be experienced by you. And you get to have this very organic way of living where you don't have to feel like you need to control things to experience them. You recognize, well, I am all things, so of course that's mine. And then you move on knowing that that will be something that you are going to experience very, very soon. So that's the way that I prefer to do this. And I think a lot of you guys would love to be able to do that as well. So I'm going to stop there. Like I said, the entire Bible is all giving you information of the truth of who you are. So I urge you guys to look into that a little bit and start, seeing the interpretations in a metaphysical sense. It's really, really interesting, and it feels really, really great to relate those things and see, like, hey, this isn't some trendy new thing to manifest. It's not some woo-woo thing either. It's the truth. It's the truth. Okay, so next thing I'm going to read is here we go. Oh, okay. So I said in my in the community tab, like ancient Hindu scripture, and what I'm referring to is Advaita, right? So non-dual philosophies. And in the non-dual philosophy, they state that consciousness is the only reality, right? So consciousness is the only reality, and everything else that is not consciousness is an illusion. That's it. So it's what they call it is consciousness is the only reality, which is Brahman, that is I amness, that is who you are, and everything else outside of that, right? Nothing is outside of that, but everything else that isn't consciousness is an illusion, is Maya. So even your physical body is Maya. It's not real. The only thing that is real is your true nature, which is I am. And I'm going to use an analogy for you guys to really solidify what this means, because I think it will be helpful. So I've used this analogy before with lots of my clients, but I'm going to do it here as well. So if you have clay, okay, let's use clay as an example. Clay is clay. It doesn't need anything else to be clay, right? It's just clay. But you can make many things out of clay. You can create bowls, you can have mugs, you can make bricks, so you can build buildings, you can have spa days, whatever it is, you can use clay to create many different forms. And so those forms, yes, they might not look like clay, they might look like a completely different thing, but they are still clay, and they cannot exist without clay. So if you took a clay bowl and you smashed it into a million pieces and it was in the state of dust, it would still be clay. And if you didn't have clay, those things could not exist. They are just forms of clay. Again, the clay is the source. The clay is you. The clay is your I amness, that is the source of everything. And everything else, people, money, cars, homes, jobs, relationships, everything that you want to experience is just a form of you, a form of that source. So again, even your own physical body is just a form of I am. It can't exist without I am. It can't exist without your awareness of it. So when you see, for example, let's do SP, just because it's so talked about. When you see your SP is treating you in a way that you don't like, and you're like, oh my gosh, this isn't working. I wish I could see this differently. Why are they doing this? Why are they acting this way? Well, that's one form of you. That's one form of the source. Okay. You don't have to continue to acknowledge that form. You don't have to continue to perceive it in that way. Because if there is one form that is unpreferred by you, that must also mean that another form that you do prefer is also there as well. Because everything is one source. Everything is just energy. So it's all one thing. So when you look at your bank account and see that you don't have the amount that you want, the amount that you want is also there. It's just that you're not allowing your senses to perceive it because you are aware of the fact that it's not the amount that you want. So your awareness comes first and your five senses follow that awareness, okay? Okay, so next thing that I wanted to share with you guys is some science. And me personally, I am not a science person. I'm not concerned about scientific evidence. I never have been. So the science thing that I'm going to explain to you guys is the most basic, easy way to understand what's going on here. I'm not going to go deep into quantum physics or anything like that. There's plenty of people that do that, and they're great at doing that. I'm not one of those people. So I'm just going to tell you the very basic understanding from a quantum physics point of view. So the illusion of reality, which refers to the idea supported by quantum physics that our perceived reality is not a solid objective thing, but rather an intricate dance of energy at its most fundamental level. I love that. That's so cool. This means that everything, including our own bodies, like I've been saying, is composed of vibrating energy fields, making our reality appear as an illusion due to the limitations of our senses and perception. So this is talking about energy and vibrational energy. Now, again, as you guys know, I don't teach energy or vibration. There's nothing wrong with it, though. A lot of people understand that a lot better than maybe, say, a spiritual, idea. So if this is helpful for you, go with that. Use that. Remember, you are the way, you are the truth, you are the life. However you want to make sense of this for you is the right way because it's for you, okay? Now, this is really cool. We're going to get into some medical studies. And I love this because, one of the biggest reasons why I got into manifesting in the first place is because I struggled with medical issues for a very long time, most of my childhood into my early adult years. So I really like this stuff. So again, going to be reading some studies to you. So several psychiatrists observed and studied patients with personality disorder. Okay. It was recorded that while the patients transitioned through different identities, different personalities, different physical appearance changes would occur in front of the doctor's eyes. So changes such as a change in eye color, scarring, where one personality would have scars and another personality wouldn't, left-handedness versus right-handedness. So, one personality would be very, very comfortable with writing with their left hand very dominantly. And then that next personality could not even, make a letter with their left hand. Really, really cool. And not only that, but medical testing was done during this, study, and medical conditions such as diabetes coming and going, between personalities, differences in eyesight, like one personality would be legally blind and another personality would have perfect eyesight. And that's just some of what was recorded. And the thing is, with a lot of these medical studies, I had seen these. So let me back up for a second. I've been in this community, in this manifestation world, for over 16 years now. So a lot of these medical studies were things that I had found over the years. And I went back to go get the links for you guys, because I want to post as many links and articles for you in the description so that you can go ahead and take a look at these yourself. But some of them were nowhere to be found. So I urge you guys to realize that sometimes you might not be able to find information that you're looking for. And that's okay, because again, like I said, we are going to really wrap this up and talk about why all of this stuff really isn't that important. But again, I think it's going to help our human selves, get through and come to this place where we can say, okay, here I am on this side, and this medical information, this scientific information, maybe the Bible, the scriptures, the ancient Hindu things, all of that stuff is helping push me over the edge to really just say, okay, it's plenty of evidence for me. Okay, so let me continue. A study done by Harvard researchers found several cases where perceived time, ooh guys, this is an exciting one, where perceived time affected physical changes faster than expected, simply because the subjects thought a longer period of time had passed by. So this is really cool for people who are really concerned with time. Blood glucose levels for type 2 diabetics fluctuated. Performance on cognitive testing were better based on perceived time versus actual time. And bruising healed much faster when patients were led to believe more time had passed. So guys, back to what we talk about. Time is based on your perception of it. You guys have experiences where, man, I was just really having a great time enjoying myself, and I can't believe 2 hours have already passed by. It feels like it's been 15 minutes. Or the other way around. I've been here for only 2 hours and it feels like I've been here for 6. I want to go home now. I don't want to work anymore. Whatever it is, based on your perception of it is going to be the way that you experience it. I love that. That's so cool. Okay. So, a woman, unnamed woman in 2009, was diagnosed with incurable cancer, and her doctor had written her off as dead 3 different times. Ugh, unreal. Instead of accepting her fate, she decided to start drinking alkaline iodized water that she received from her brother. He was a dentist. And she ate an alkalized diet and, of course, cured her cancer. Cured. And I say cured in quotes because, as you guys know, cancer is an illusion. You don't need to cure anything. You need to recognize that you've always been healthy. You've always been perfectly healthy, because I am is perfection. I am is perfect health. I am is abundance, is wealth, is love, is peace, is harmony, is all things. All things. Perfect, whole, complete. And even the things that are unwanted are just you choosing those things, just you choosing to identify with those things. So because you're everything, yes, you can experience anything, but by nature, you are perfect. You are absolutely perfect, okay? And there was one more too. David Seidler, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was a writer. He won an Oscar. You guys can look it up. was diagnosed with bladder cancer, and he was absolutely terrified. He was terrified. But then he said he pulled himself together and he decided to visualize. He visualized a perfectly healthy, clean bladder, in his words. And in 2 weeks, he was having a procedure to get rid of the cancerous bladder. And when they went in to do the surgery, the cancer was gone. So just another one, guys. Like, you don't have to accept any sort of fate for yourself, because it's not final until you say it is. Okay? Okay. So I think that's enough information now. We read a lot of things. We talked about a lot of things. What I want to talk to you about now is self-inquiry. And why I think this is so important is because we just talked a lot about a bunch of different evidence from lots of different areas, which is amazing. But it can only get you so far, because you guys can hear me talk all day, every day, for months and years about the same things. You can read books, you can study, you can do all of these things. But until you have the direct experience of your true nature, it's going to feel like you're always trying to convince yourself. It's going to feel like there's always something missing. But when you know yourself, when you know the truth of who you are, there's no questioning anymore. There's no seeking anymore. Okay. So there are many, many ways you can do this, and you can, do it in your own way if you prefer. But I'm just going to share with you a few ways that I have done this. So the first way would be just zoning out. And generally, I would just stare at something. So when I did this for the first time, I sat in my front yard and I just stared at the tree that we had in the front yard. And I just picked a little spot on the actual trunk of the tree, and I just stared at it. And I stared without trying to think about anything. Yes, thoughts were happening, of course. I didn't attach myself to them. I didn't observe them. I didn't do anything with them. I just let them come in and go. And over a brief period of sitting there, I started to notice that thoughts weren't really coming in that much anymore. Now, they weren't completely gone. It wasn't silent, but thoughts weren't coming in at a rapid pace in the way that they were at the beginning. So while they were slowing down, there are periods of nothingness in between your thoughts, right? So a thought will come in, and then it's a pause. And then another thought will come in, and then it's a pause. And while you're noticing those pauses, recognize, I'm not having any thought, most likely not having any feeling. And for me personally, I wasn't feeling any sensations in my body at that point. I was at the beginning, but I just left it all alone and I stopped really feeling my body. So my point is, you as awareness, as I am, as existence itself, are still there, are still existing, unchanged, no matter what's going on. So you can see you're not the thoughts, you're not the body, you're not the human personality, you are the awareness behind all of that. That's it. So I really urge you guys to practice this. And some other ways that you can do it are, of course, like, a basic meditation where you just get in a comfortable position, start taking deep breaths, and what you can do is set an intention that my intention for this meditation today is to know the truth of who I am, is to recognize the oneness with my true nature, is to realize that there is no separation, whatever the intention is for you guys. And just start focusing on your breathing. Again, allowing the thoughts to come in and go, allowing the bodily sensations to come and go. No worries, no attachment, no judgment on any of that stuff. Just allow it all to be there, focusing on your breathing. And again, you will come to that same space where you realize, wow, I really am just the awareness behind this human personality. So that's another way that you can do it. And another way that I've done, and this is the last one that I'm going to share with you guys, I'm sure a lot of you have heard this, is just to, again, get in a comfortable position, take some deep breaths, and then when you feel comfortable enough, you're going to inhale and say, I am. You can say it within, you can say it out loud, it doesn't matter. I prefer to say it in my mind. So inhale, I. Exhale, am. I am. And you're just going to keep doing that. Again, this is going to get you to the same point. What it's doing is bringing your awareness to the truth of who you are and allowing you again to have that direct experience. And this is something, again, that you have to do for yourself to truly even understand what I'm getting at here. So please, guys, practice this and let me know how it goes. So I want to end off here on a really fun note. And that is to explain to you, really, from my personal perspective of what is going on here. So, God, infinite intelligence, the faceless, formless, I amness, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it truly doesn't matter. But that, and by the way, if I refer to God as he, I'm just doing it because it's easier for me, but God is genderless, of course. So God chose to have this human experience. And in order to have that human experience, God had to use himself, of course, because that is all that there is. God, one source, one energy, one mind. God, everything. So God had to use himself to manifest humans into form. And the whole point of this human experience is to allow God to experience this game, this life, this play, this movie, however you want to look at it, in as many different unique perspectives and points of views as possible. So the billions of people here are all unique points of view that God gets to experience life through. And because you are made from the same source as God, you are one with God. And God gave you the free will to choose your own experiences, to choose the way that you want to experience this game. Okay? So there is no good or bad. Everything is neutral. Everything is perfect to God. So even if you think, why would God allow me to suffer for so many years when I'm in desperate need of money? Well, it's not up to God to determine how you personally experience your life. Because, like I said, everything is perfect to God. Everything is just an experience to continue to expand in awareness, to grow in your consciousness, and to reach the truth of who you really are here. So nothing is bad to God. You as a human being judge things as good and bad. That's all that it is. So when you tell me, I have been struggling with money for so many years, and if I truly were this powerful, then this wouldn't be happening to me. Well, unfortunately, that's not how this works. When you say, I've been struggling for years with money, and God is just allowing me to suffer, you know what the 3D says? It says, true. You have been struggling for so many years with money, and God doesn't want to help you. So let's give you more evidence of that. You guys see? That's how it works. So I've been doing this for so many years. I've been trying to manifest my SP and nothing is working. 3D. True. You have been trying to do this for so many years and nothing is working. Let's give you more proof of that. You don't understand. I've been doing everything right. I'm doing everything right. I'm doing all the techniques. I'm doing this. I'm doing the visualizations. I'm deciding. And none of this is working. You're right. You have been doing everything right, but none of this is working. Let's give you more of that. And I want to stop for a second, guys, because a lot of you guys tell me that you are deciding. I've decided so many times. Well, you say you've decided, but you haven't accepted that decision. You can't decide and then say, this isn't working. That's another decision. That's another decision. So I decided that my SP is going to call me. And then you say, it didn't work. He didn't call me. Again, 3D. Oh, okay. You decided your SP was going to call you. Now you decided it didn't work and he didn't call you. Okay, here we go. That's what you get. So your job is not only to decide and then jump right back out from your decision. No, that wipes away that other decision. Your job is to decide and then to accept that decision, which means regardless of what you see, regardless of what you hear, regardless of what you feel or you think, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because you've already decided. That is the only possible outcome. That is the only possible truth. So when you see something that appears to not be the way that this is supposed to all unfold for you, because, as humans, we think we know everything. Your job is to look at that thing, feel whatever you need to feel, think whatever you need to think, and then still come back and say, perfect. Perfect. That's proof that I have exactly what I want. And no, guys, that's not delusional. That's not delusional, because going back to the foundational truth, you are already everything. You have everything. You are all realities, all timelines. You are it. You are all. And because of that, any possibility is a possible truth for you. And the way that you choose to perceive something will be the way that you experience it. So when you look at something that seems problematic, remembering that as a human, you can only see a tiny, tiny pinhole of what is actually there, you get to choose the perspective of somebody who knows that this is exactly what needs to happen. This is proof that I have what I want. Okay, guys? So I really, really want you to understand that this medical proof, this scientific proof, this Bible scripture, all of these things are amazing, but they are all you. They are all you. So you are the proof. You are the evidence. You are the way. You are the truth. You are the life. Okay, guys, I hope that this video was what you were looking for. I think it's going to help so many of you, and I'm really, really excited to hear how amazing life starts to become for you. So please keep me updated, share in the comments. And yes, guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you soon.